You can go into a gold mine and use a pick looking for gold, looking at every stone and rock, or you can go to the riverbed, El Lecho, and you can look for gold. Now, in 1849, well really, in the autumn of 1848, a man noticed something very shiny at the bottom of a stream. And he looked and presto, it was gold. And suddenly everybody knew, and that started the California gold rush. You say in Spanish, la fiebre del oro, you say the gold fever. We say the gold rush, because rush is to hurry. Deprisa, rápido, hurry. And we call it the gold rush because everybody rushes to the place to try to find gold. Okay? And in 1849 is the famous gold rush. So the question, did the miners find gold or silver in California? They found gold. Okay, they found gold. And some people didn't find gold. And they spent all their money. Some people lived on the east coast of the United States in New York, Boston, Philadelphia, Washington, Baltimore, Atlanta, Charleston, Savannah, and they crossed to California with the hope, the dream of finding, valga el gerundio aquí, el sueño de encontrar. We don't say the dream to find, we say the dream of finding gold. And they used three routes. The overland route, by covered wagon, carromato, they crossed an entire continent over the Appalachian Mountains, across the Mississippi River, through the Great Plains with Indians and buffalo, to the Rocky Mountains, and then to the deserts of Utah and Nevada, and then the second part of the Rocky Mountains in the center of California, and then finally to the gold area. And many times they didn't find any gold. And sometimes they died. And sometimes little girls died in songs like, oh my darling, oh my darling, oh my darling Clementine, you are lost and gone forever. Oh sad sorrow, Clementine. That's from the gold rush in California. 1849, that's why the famous football team in San Francisco, you remember? Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, the San Francisco 49ers, los del 49. Those are the people who crossed overland to California to look for gold. But not everybody crossed overland because it was very long, very hot, or very cold and very dangerous. Some people went by ship and they went around Cape Horn. Can you imagine if you live in New York and you decide to go to California from here to here, and you go 10 or 20,000 kilometers south, around the tip, my fingertips, the tip of the iceberg, the tip, okay? And they go around the tip of South America, Cape Horn, Cabo de Hornos, and go all the way up to San Francisco on the other side. Sometimes it was better to do that than to go overland from Baltimore, for example, to San Francisco. And finally, some people decided to cross the Isthmus of Panama. And they went from New York, Boston, Baltimore, etc., Philadelphia, and they sailed, navegando. They sailed down to Cuba, and they continued from Cuba to Panama. But at that time, in 1849 and 1850, the Panama Canal didn't exist. So they had to cross the Isthmus of Panama. And that's 50 miles, 80 kilometers of tall, big, high mountains and very humid, dense jungles. So it wasn't so easy. And nobody yet, nadie todavía, nobody yet has established which way was the best. Overland, around the tip of South America, or into the Caribbean and down to the Isthmus of Panama and crossing that little piece of land, and then in the Pacific, you were very close to San Francisco. Now it's much better. Now probably the best way is to catch a plane in Philadelphia, a jet, and fly from Philadelphia to San Francisco. And it only takes 4.5 or 5 hours from the East Coast to the West Coast. Now, if you want to go by ship, I recommend through the Panama Canal. And in that case, it would probably take about 6 or 7 days. And if you want to go around the tip of South America, it's a long trip. Maybe it would take 20 days. But in the 19th century, it took 40 days or 50 days. It took a long time. And also it was very dangerous. Okay, question. Did the miners find gold or silver in California? They found gold. Okay. When did the Beatles get together? Well, they first got together in 1958 or 1959. How long did they stay together? They stayed together until 1970. Okay. When did they become famous? They became famous in England. They began to become famous in 1962 with Love Me Do. Love, love me do. But they became really famous in the United Kingdom in 1963. And when did they become famous in the United States? Well, they became famous between 63 and 64. They became famous really in 1964 with I Want to Hold Your Hand, and then She Loves You. So when did they become? How long did they stay together after that? Well, after they became famous in 1963 and 1964, they stayed together until 1970. So really, how long were they famous and together? They were famous and together for about 7 or 8 years. Okay. But they formed the group, or began to form the group, in the late 50s, not in the early 60s, in the late 50s. Were you born in the late 50s? No. Were you born in the mid 50s? No. Were you born in the early 50s? When were you born? When were you born? ¿Cuándo naciste? In English, the verb nacer doesn't exist. We don't have a verb in English for nacer. However, English-speaking people nacen también. All right? But we say fuimos paridos. The verb to bear, como oso, like the animal, the bear. The verb to bear has 2 meanings. Soportar, aguantar. I can't bear studying English. But to bear also means parir. Okay? When a woman gives birth, dar a luz, decimos dar nacimiento. When a woman gives birth, she bears a child. And so yesterday, that woman bore a child. Okay? Passive voice, the child was born. So the verb is bear, bore, born. So in English we say, I was born, which means my mother bore me, okay? I was born in Texas. I was born in the early 50s. My daughter was born in Spain. She was born in the early 80s. My son was born in Spain too. He was born in the mid-80s. My wife was born in Spain. She was born in the mid-50s. Okay. My mother was born in San Antonio, Texas. She was born in the late 20s. All right. When were you born? When were you born? Okay, the next question. Did Cervantes write Don Quixote or Moby Dick? Well, that's an easy question for you. Cervantes wrote Don Quixote de la Mancha, El Ingenioso Caballero. Yes, Miguel de Cervantes y Saavedra wrote Don Quixote. He wrote Don Quixote in 2 parts, Book 1 and Book 2. He wrote Book 1 around 1603, 1603 or 4. My memory is starting to fail me. He wrote the first book in around 1603. And he wrote the second book around 1613 or 1614. So he wrote the second book 10 years after the first. Okay? And did he write the book before or after he was wounded at the Battle of Lepanto? Well, Spanish people know perfectly well that Cervantes wrote Don Quixote after he was wounded at the Battle of Lepanto. If you are in a battle, three things can happen to you. You can survive the battle with no problem, or you can be wounded, or you can be killed. It means you die in the battle. And if you're wounded, you normally need medical treatment. Many years ago, when soldiers were wounded in battle, they often died because of complications from their wounds. They suffered infections, gangrene, and they often died from simple wounds sometimes. And perhaps the most important person was a researcher in the 1920s and 1930s, Alexander Fleming, who in a way by accident discovered penicillin. And that changed the life of many people in wars. So when soldiers were wounded in battle, they usually didn't die because penicillin made it possible to control the infection. Okay, but before, many people died. Now, Miguel de Cervantes, the person who wrote Don Quixote de la Mancha, he was wounded in the Battle of Lepanto. Where did the Battle of Lepanto take place? Well, it took place in Greek waters, in the western part of Greece, between the Peloponnese and the Greek mainland. And there he was wounded. Okay, but he survived. And many years later, he wrote the first book of Don Quixote de la Mancha, and then he wrote the second book. Have you read the books? I've read the book in Spanish and in English, the English translation. I read the English translation first when I was 17 or 18. And I read the first book in Spanish when I was about 22. And I read the second book when I was 25. I remember perfectly. Okay. How long did it take me to read it? It took me about a month to read the first book. And it took me about a month, too, to read the second book. Was it easy or difficult for me? It wasn't difficult. It was written in Old Spanish with the spelling of the Old Spanish. But it wasn't too difficult for me because I was a student of Spanish literature. So it wasn't too easy. Which book did I like the most? Then I preferred the first book. Now I prefer the second book. The second book is more philosophical. The first book has more adventures. But the second book is better. As you get older, a medida que te haces más mayor, as you get older, I think most people begin to appreciate the second book more than the first. But both are good. And it's considered the greatest book in the history of novels, in the history of literature, the greatest novel. Okay? What's the second greatest novel? Well, we'll decide that in another class. In the meantime, continue studying your English. Mientras tanto, in the meantime, continue with your English because I think you need to improve, okay? All right, see you soon. Bye-bye. Hello and welcome back. Welcome to another 20-minute English class from Vaughan Systems. Today, we are going to look at the simple past. En inglés decimos el pasado simple. In Spanish, some people say pretérito indefinido, but now I think they've changed the official name. But in English, the simple past, lo que pasó ayer o lo que pasó hace 2000 años. Julius Caesar died in Rome. That was 2,000 years ago. And yesterday I ate spaghetti. That's 24 hours ago. The simple past. Cosas que han pasado en el pasado y que ya no tienen validez en el presente. The simple past. It's very easy. Yes and no, because you need to learn the irregular verbs. Every day I go. Yesterday I went. Every day I fly. Yesterday I flew. And you need to master the endings on regular verbs. Every day I work, yesterday I worked. Every day I finish, yesterday I finished. Every day I start, yesterday I started. Añadiendo una sílaba más. Right? No es tan fácil. But nevertheless, let's start. I'm going to ask questions in the simple past, con los verbos auxiliares, and I'm going to answer the questions because I'm alone. I don't have any students with me. So number one, how many newspapers did you read yesterday? How many newspapers did you read? Bueno, podrías decir, I read one newspaper. I read two newspapers. I read all the newspapers published in this city. How many newspapers did you read? I read. How many letters did you read yesterday? How many emails did you read yesterday? How many magazines did you read yesterday? How many poems did you read yesterday? How many novels, novelas, did you read last year? Fijaos, digo last year, no, the last year. How many poems did you read last week? To read. Every day I read, yesterday I read. Do you read? Do you read the newspaper every day? Yes, I do. Did you read the newspaper yesterday? Yes, I did. Okay. What time did you leave home this morning? To leave. Escrito leave, leave. Salir de o marcharse. Él se marchó hace 15 minutos. He left 15 minutes ago. What time did you leave home this morning? Me? I left home at 7 o'clock in the morning, very early. I left home very early. What time did you leave home? Me? I left home at 8. So did you leave 1 hour before me or 1 hour after me? I left home 1 hour after you. Fijaos, salir de casa is to leave home. Leave home. No hay preposición en medio. To leave home. Y el pasado left. What time did you leave home this morning? I left home at 7 o'clock this morning. What time did you leave home yesterday morning? I left home yesterday at the same time, at 7 o'clock in the morning. Okay. How many coffees did you drink yesterday? I drank 2 coffees yesterday. One for breakfast and one after lunch. How many coffees did you drink? I drank. Fijaos en la pronunciación. How many coffees did you drink? Yesterday, I drank 2 coffees yesterday. How many whiskeys did you drink last night at home? I didn't drink any whiskeys. Cuando hago el negativo, digo didn't y luego lo que es el verbo en su sentido puro infinitivo. I didn't drink. I didn't go. I didn't see. I didn't leave. I didn't read. How many whiskeys did you drink? En el interrogativo también, did you drink? Donde aparece el auxiliar did, el verbo siempre va en su sentido puro de infinitivo. How many whiskeys did you drink last night? At home, I didn't drink any whiskeys. How many bottles of water did you drink yesterday? I drank 1 bottle of water. And how many glasses of orange juice did you drink yesterday? I drank 1 glass of orange juice. When did you drink it? I drank it after lunch, before the coffee. Okay. And how many coffees did you drink yesterday? I drank 2 coffees. When did you drink them? When did you drink them? I drank them, the first one in the morning for breakfast and the second one after lunch. Immediately, con doble M, immediately after the orange juice. Okay. How many times did you drive to work last week? Last week, I drove to work 5 times. Because last week, there were 5 working days, and I always drive to work. Fijaos que en inglés utilizamos el verbo conducir mucho para el sentido de la locomoción de un sitio a otro mediante el coche. En español normalmente decís fui en coche o fui conduciendo, pero en inglés decimos conduje al trabajo. I drove to work. Y así se dice. I drove to work yesterday and I drove to work every day last week. What time did you drive to work? Well, I drove to work at 7 o'clock. How long did it take you to drive to work? It took me 20 minutes to drive to work. And how many times did you drive to work the week before last? The week before last, I drove to work 3 times, not 5. Why did you drive to work only 3 times the week before last? I drove to work only 3 times the week before last because there were 2 holidays the week before last. One on Tuesday and one on Wednesday. There were 2 consecutive holidays. So I worked, pasado del verbo to work. I worked on Monday, Thursday, and Friday, only 3 days. So I drove to work 3 times the week before last. But last week, there weren't, fijaos en la pronunciación, no hubo fiestas, días festivos, there weren't. No digo weren't, como decís vosotros muchas veces. There weren't any holidays last week. So, por lo tanto, I worked all 5 days. I worked. Una sola sílaba, difícil de pronunciar para vosotros, lo sé. Sonido de K, worked, y luego sonido de T juntos. I worked all 5 days, so I drove, pasado de drive. I drove to work 5 times last week. Did you drive? Did you drive slowly or quickly? Slowly or fast? I drove a little fast, okay? Okay, the next one. How many times did you come to this room last week? I came here once last week. What day did you come here? I came, what time? What day did you come? Did you come? Yo respondo, I came. I came here once last week. What day did you come, he dicho? I came on Tuesday. Why did you come on Tuesday? I came on Tuesday to see Claire, the person behind the camera where you are. I came here para ver. Vine aquí para ver a Claire. I came here to see. No se dice foresee or foreseeing. I came here con qué propósito? I came here to see. Cuando hablas de propósito, en inglés decimos to más el infinitivo. Vine aquí con qué propósito? Vine para ver a Claire. I came here to see Claire. Ahora, cuando es funcionalidad, solemos usar for. A pen is for writing. Okay? A watch is for knowing the time. Functionality. Okay? A camera is for filming. ¿Cuál es funcionalidad? Solemos decir for más el gerundio. For filming, for writing, for knowing the time. Pero cuando es propósito es to más infinitivo. Vine aquí para ver. No era mi funcionalidad verla. Fue mi propósito. I came here to see Claire last week. I came on Tuesday. Oh, you came on Tuesday. Yes, I came on Tuesday. I came on Tuesday. Did you come in the morning or in the afternoon? I came in the morning. Why did you come in the morning? You're very inquisitive. I came in the morning because Claire doesn't work in the afternoon. So I came in the morning. But did you come by car? Well, of course I came by car. I always drive my car. Okay? And how long did you stay here? Eso es un verbo regular. Yo quiero los irregulares solo. No, bueno, hoy vamos a hacer una excepción. A regular verb. How long did you stay here? I stayed here for 20 minutes. You stayed for only 20 minutes? Yes. Why did you stay here? Why did you stay here for only 20 minutes? Because Claire needed to leave. Oh, she needed to leave. Why did she need to leave? I don't know. I think she needed to go to the dentist. Does she have a problem with her teeth? I don't know. All right, why are you asking me so many questions? Because I want you to use the past tense. Well, I'm not using the past tense now. Okay. Bueno, seguimos. Okay. All right. How many times did you sleep in a hotel last month? Let's see, last month. I slept in a hotel 4 nights last month. Okay. And did you sleep in the same hotel all 4 nights, or did you sleep in different hotels? Well, let's see. Veamos. Vamos a ver. Let's see. The first 2 nights I slept in Hotel A, and the second 2 nights I slept in Hotel B. Yes, but where's Hotel A? That's not the past tense. Esto es el tiempo del pasado, ¿verdad? Okay. Where was the first hotel where you slept? The first hotel was 100 kilometers west of here. Okay. And did you sleep in a double bed or in a single bed? I slept in a double bed. Did you sleep on the right side of the bed or the left side of the bed? I slept on the right side of the bed. Did you sleep with 2 pillows or only 1 pillow? Las almohadas. Let's see. I slept with only 1 pillow. Do you normally sleep? Esto ya es presente. Do you normally sleep with 1 pillow or with 2? I normally sleep with only 1 pillow. Okay. Did you sleep on your back, on your side, or on your stomach? I really don't know, but probably I slept on my left side and on my back. Okay. Did you sleep well, or did you get up many times during the night? No, I think I slept well. Okay. To sleep, slept. Every day I sleep. Yesterday I slept. En la pregunta, did you sleep poorly? No, I didn't sleep poorly. I slept well. Okay. How many times did you eat in a restaurant last week? Every day. I ate. Fijaos, el pasado del verbo to eat, que es comer, suena igual que el número 8. Ayer comí 8 ostras, por ejemplo. Yesterday I ate 8 oysters. How many oysters did you eat yesterday? Well, me? I ate 8 oysters too.